Fellas, welcome back to episode 24 of the MK MMA podcast. Guys, thank you so much for all the love and the support on the, TikToks and Instagram Reels last week. I really appreciate it. I love, talking back and forth with you guys and just getting your guys' feel for how my content is, and also just hearing your opinions on things, so it's always really fun. So keep tuning into the comments as always, and I'll always respond. So thank you guys so much. I do want to apologize for not getting an episode out to you guys last week. I did record it. I had it all ready to go, but my editor just had work obligations and just couldn't get me the video on time. So I apologize extremely for that. And, he feels bad about it too, but I totally get it. So it's not his fault at all. He's been killing it with these videos and getting them out to me. And he's a big reason why this whole platform is a thing. So obviously going to make sure this episode gets out to you guys on Wednesday this week. UFC 326, Max Holloway versus Charles Oliveira. Going to be an absolute bloodbath. It's literally going to be a war. It's like two of the favorite fighters for everyone in the UFC, and it's just going to be so sad to see who loses, and I don't think I'm mentally prepared for that. But anyways, we'll just get right into it. I will give you guys my updated fight record ranking because I'm going to stay true to my picks. I went 1-2 last weekend on the Mexico City card. Pop them up right here as usual. 29-20. I'm not too happy about it, but here's what I said last weekend. I took Zellhuber, I took David Martinez, and then I took Brandon Moreno. I took all the Mexicans. I was really pumped for it. I was kind of scared. Zellhuber was like minus 300, but he's had sketchy fights. He's 3-3 in the UFC, and he's had really sketchy fights and sketchy losses. And I did say, hey, I wouldn't be surprised if King Green knocked him out. But I still took Zellhuber because I just thought that, he has such a perfect build for a fighter, in my opinion, especially in the lightweight division. And I thought he could use his reach to his advantage. He just didn't look that good, and King Green finished him kind of with ease, honestly, and so which kind of surprised me as well. But King Green looked really well. He got 3 takedowns in that fight and outstruck him by literally almost 90 strikes. So that's pretty impressive. But yeah, I said that, got that one wrong. I was right about David Martinez. I said David Martinez, is just a really well balanced fighter. He could take it down to the ground, and then he could still win it on the feet because he's really comfortable there as well. He's just a well balanced fighter, and I think he was just too much for Cheeto. And it sucks to see Cheeto kind of on the downside a little bit, just going down the slope. But hopefully he can figure it out. And I got David Martinez right, and then Brandon Moreno. I just thought Kavanaugh was just not prepared for this fight. He's an unranked fighter. He's 2-1 in the UFC, coming off a loss, and Brandon Moreno. Just a champ, he's a vet too, and I was just I just don't see any possible way Brandon Moreno does not win this fight. And he went 0 for 8 on takedowns, and I think that's what killed him. I think he couldn't get into his. He only outstruck Brandon Moreno by 2 strikes, which they kept it really tight, and I think he just had more significant strikes, which when there's nothing else going on in the fight, there's no takedowns even landed. They're going to give it to the guy with the more strikes, and especially in each individual round. So I think that's how Kavanaugh just took the dub, obviously, and it really sucks to see Brandon Moreno just not being Brandon Moreno anymore. He used to be one of my favorite fighters. He still is one of my favorite fighters. I don't want to say used to, but it just sucks to see one of your favorite fighters just lose, and it's just unfortunate because he's such a great guy. He has so many passionate speeches when he became champ and motivated me as I'm a small dude as well that's played a lot of sports in my life, and seeing him talk about that stuff and never giving up is just I felt that, and so I connected with him on that. So it just sucks to see him still in the losing column, but I hope he figures it out. I can't wait to see him back in the W column here soon, hopefully whenever he takes his next fight. But yeah, so I went 1-2 in the Mexico City card. that was so super upsetting. But we'll jump into UFC 326 right now. I'll give you guys my picks. I'm so pumped for it. Let me know what you guys thought about the Mexico card, UFC Fight Night in Mexico. I thought it was pretty fun, and it was not as crazy finishes and anything like we've been having so far in this new year of 2026. But you can't have all the weekends be great. But I still thought it was a good card, and we're going into an insane UFC 326 numbered pay-per-view card, and I just can't wait for it, man. So my picks, I'm going to go with 4 fights on the main card, and that's it. I'm going to go with it's Gregory Rodrigues versus Bruno Ferreira. I'm going to go with Bruno Ferreira, and as always, I jump into these on the UFC 326 breakdown after the fight record. So I'm going to go with Bruno Ferreira. Rob Font versus Rosas Jr. I'm going to go with Rosas Jr. And then Caio versus RDR. I'm going to go with Caio. And then there's Max Holloway versus Charles Oliveira. I'm going to go with Max Holloway. So what we got Bruno Ferreira, we got Raul Rosas Jr., we got Caio, and we got Max Holloway. And hopefully we can go 4-0 this weekend. In UFC 325, I went perfect 4-for-4 as well. So I'm really hoping I can, bump up this fight record a little bit and really figure it out, because 29-20 is not where I thought I would be. I think I'm just messing up on these UFC fight nights. I've been doing pretty well on the numbered cards. I need to do more digging and do a better job in this hobby of mine to understand the fighters more on the UFC fight night. So thank God that episode didn't release, I guess, last week, because I went 1-2 and, messed some things up. But, anyways, let me know what you guys think about these, these fight predictions. I hope I can give you guys a 4-0. But, yeah, ride with it as usual. Bruno Ferreira, Raul Rosas, Caio, and then Max Holloway. Hammer it now before it's too late, and I look forward to winning some money with you guys. All right, that's it with the UFC fight record. All right, now we're just going to go into the UFC breakdown, UFC 326 breakdown. For Gregory Rodrigues and Bruno Ferreira, they've already fought twice, and Bruno Ferreira knocked him out in the first round very quickly. And so I don't know if that was just a fluke or not, but, Bruno Ferreira, he's been in the UFC. He's been in the UFC for a little bit. He's a pretty well balanced fighter too. He has 11 first round finishes out of his 15 wins, which is insane. He has 9 wins by knockout, 5 by submission. So I think that 5 by submission kind of says a good amount, just on how he could try to get better, win some rounds in this fight, or if he's getting outstruck, he can get some takedowns to make up some ground if he's getting outstruck, because Gregory Rodrigues loves being on the feet. I expect this fight to stay on the feet quite a bit for the majority of this fight. I could totally see Bruno just taking him down to make up some ground game, or if he's just feel like he can't beat him on the feet, as he probably would expect going into the fight. Because Gregory Rodrigues, has had some time in these in the UFC. He big vet. He's been around for a lot. He's very familiar with the octagon, of course. All these guys are, but I think Bruno Ferreira, I think he's just a little bit too quick for him. I think he's more well balanced, and I think there's a lot more that Gregory Rodrigues has to worry about than Bruno does, because Bruno just needs to make sure he needs to stay good on the feet, and he can take it to the ground if he wants. But who knows, man? I see Bruno winning this. He just beat Marvin Vettori too, which is a big confidence booster. Gets him into the top 15. He's on a 3-fight win streak as well, which is great. So we'll see how it goes. And another thing for Gregory Rodrigues, when he's fought in actual comp, he's just taking some L's. Kopylov, that's comp. All right, so I'm kind of wrong there, but he lost to Jared Cannonier back in literally around this time last year in February 15th of 2025. And so, but he's beaten pretty much. God, he's 5-1 in his last 6 fights. So I could be wrong there, but his literally outside of those last 6 fights, the last loss he had was literally right before that skit, and it was Bruno Ferreira. So it'll be really interesting to see how this goes. I just see Bruno Ferreira taking this, especially if he just mixes it up and not lets Gregory get comfortable on the feet. But yeah, we'll see how it goes from there. All right, now we got Rob Font versus Raul Rosas Jr. I really don't see this fight going any other way other than Raul Rosas just dominating it on the ground and, maybe getting a submission out of that. I think Raul Rosas Jr., I mean, he's just young. He's hungry. He's always talking about retiring at 25. So I mean, he's wanting to get wins as fast as possible and cement his legacy as well. And I just see him really dominating this fight against Rob Font. Rob Font's a great fighter. He's 22-9 though. He's coming off a loss to David Martinez, who just beat Cheeto last weekend, obviously. So who knows? He lost to Figgy as well back in 2023, and so. I don't know, man. Those are two out of the last 4 fights that were competition fights, and he lost. And he lost to Corey Sandhagen also before Figgy. So I think every single comp fight that he's had, he's lost. And I think Raul Rosas will, be able to just dominate on the ground and, use his ground game to his advantage, obviously, and get the job done there on the ground. So, I'm obviously going with Raul Rosas Jr. there. I mean, if Rob Font can somehow keep this on the feet and figure it out from there, then he'll be good. I mean, he does have 4 wins by submission as well, but I just think that Rosas Jr. is just too dominant and just has too much in his bag on the ground to be able to, lose it on the ground. So, If Raul Rosas if he lands his takedowns as usual and stays consistent with it, the fight's going his way. So, yeah. All right, next fight. Caio versus RDR. This fight, I think, is going to be one of the best fights of the night. And the reason why is it's a big middleweight fight. These guys are both coming off their first losses in the UFC as well. These guys are definitely very hungry to get back in the W column and, get back to chasing that title contention in the middleweight division, especially how there's just so much going on in it as well. So drop it in the comments down below who you guys think is going to win this fight. I'm really excited about this fight. Caio is such a fun fighter, and I know he goes to decision a lot, and so maybe that might screw him over here too because RDR can finish guys on the ground, and he has been on a tear besides losing to Brendan Allen. He was trying to claim that he was sick or whatever during camp and he was sick during the fight or whatever, but, I just don't buy that type of bullshit. It's like you got to come prepared and you got to be ready to fight, and there's no excuses at the end of the day. Or at least say it before the fight. You can't just come out with it after the fight. I think it makes you even look better if you say you're sick before the fight and then you still go out and win it. So, but yeah, I mean, dude, RDR was on a tear. He beat GM3 on his debut. He beat Kevin Holland. He knocked out Bo Nickel, who people thought was a huge prospect, and he still is. I just think that he still has a lot more to work on. And then he beat Whitaker by split decision, which is the biggest win of his UFC career. And then he lost to Brendan Allen. Who knows? If we see that RDR like we have before that Brendan Allen fight, I would have said RDR is going to win this fight, but he looked so bad against Brendan Allen and got dominated, and I just don't, and I just made me lose confidence in, the hype of that fighter. And so, Caio, kind of the same thing, was on a tear in the UFC as well, and beat Magomedov, and then beat Craig as well. Paul Craig, I know he's kind of low washed, but yeah, but still, it's a good win for him. And then he beat Jared Cannonier, and then the Sniper was a big fight, and he just lost to that. But it went to unanimous decision. I think the only thing that scares me is that he goes to the decision so much that RDR can do a lot more in those 3 rounds to be able to, be able to get the decision win. But I don't know. I think Caio, he's 17-2. He just doesn't lose fights, and he has 5 wins by knockout, 4 by submission, and so that's 11 out of 17. So he's very well rounded as well, and so I think he can defend the takedowns that RDR will throw at him. And if it stays on the feet, then I think Caio can just take this one home. Just with being able to outstrike him and seeing how dominant he is on the feet as well, and that shows how he wins fights too. So yeah, give me Caio, and I can't wait to see it. Again, drop it in the comments down below who you think is going to win this fight and what you think should be next for Caio or RDR, depending on the outcomes of this fight, or who would be a good matchup for them next. All right, now Max Holloway versus Charles Oliveira. Come on now. Let's fucking go. Come on, boys. This is, we've been talking about this fight ever since it got announced, and it's so crazy. It's already here. It's actually insane to me. And this is like literally one of the biggest fights in the lightweight division in a while. And I am so pumped for it. And Charles Oliveira, dude, and Max Holloway, just respect. Like, these guys are just BMF fighters to the teeth. Like, the best example of it by far. And, Charles Oliveira does not turn down any fighter. He fights the biggest and toughest dudes, and so does Max. And Max has been defending this BMF belt so well, and it's been super nice to see someone, just being dominant with defending that belt, and he's just cementing his legacy of why he's one of the baddest motherfuckers to ever come through the UFC. And it's just going to be insane. So, here's the thing. I'm going with Max Holloway, and this is like the main reason why, guys. The main reason why I'm going with Max Holloway is because Charles Oliveira is talking about, like, in camp, he's like practicing like the Max Holloway signature point down in the middle of the canvas and just swing. And Charles is like, I'm going to be there, I'm going to be prepared, and I'm going to finish him doing that. And what did Charles say when he was going into the fight against Ilya? He's like, I'm going to stand in the middle and stand in the pocket and throw and knock him out. And Charles Oliveira just got dismantled and finished from that badly, in good fashion by Ilya as well. But and that's where I think Max Holloway, that's Max Holloway's bread and butter, bro. And it's really hard to beat someone in their own game like that. And I think Charles just needs to start playing his own, just playing his own game. He needs to fight his style. He needs to mix it up. He needs to take him to the ground and even if he gets out of it when they're on the ground, throw some punches and then take him back down. I just don't think Charles is going to do that this fight. If he does, I see this going a completely different way. But Max Holloway has fought he's fought in Volk countless times. He's fought in a ton of other guys that can take him down to the ground, and his takedown defense is just. It's just money. I don't think that Charles will be able to get him down to the ground as much as he thinks he will too. So, I can just see Max just, this could be a 5-round fight where it's going to be an amazing fight, but where Max is just, it's just kind of going his way. He's controlling the whole fight, and he's outstriking him. He's defending the takedowns. Maybe he gets taken down a couple times, but if he only gets taken down 3 times throughout 5 rounds, that's not really much. And so I think what Charles has to do is take him down to the ground, and then not ever let him get comfortable on his feet, because that's where Max will beat you. Every single time. 9 out of 10 times, that's where Max Holloway will beat you. And I just think that Max Holloway will do just a great job of controlling this fight, staying on the outside of the foot and throwing in some shots, mixing up high and low, and, having good takedown defenses, and being able to just chip away at Charles the whole fight. And I would love to see this end in a finish. It would be so awesome because, Justin Patty didn't end in a finish. Volk and Diego Lopez didn't end in a finish. So it'd be nice to see our numbered card main event end in a finish. So I would love to see that. But, it's just 2 dominant, bad motherfuckers that are just going to, go to war with each other. And I can't wait to see it happen, man. It's one of the most highly anticipated fights already, of course, in the year of 2026. I just can't wait for it. I know you guys are excited about it as well. And this has been all the buzz since it's got announced, and I can't wait for it. So let me know what you guys think. Drop it in the comments below again about this whole card in general. Rate UFC 326 out of 10. I think it's just going to be an absolute bloodbath of a main card. I'm super pumped. It's a lot of, exciting fighters that fight different styles, that finish guys as well, and I think it's just going to be great. And it's just dude, it's just awesome to have Max Holloway and Charles Oliveira on the card together. Again, comment down below who you think is going to win, Max Holloway or Charles Oliveira, and let me know if you think if you think Charles will submit this guy and get the BMF belt or whatnot. I would, but what would be cool is to see Max Holloway win the belt and then go and fight for the lightweight title at some point, and then hold the BMF belt and hold the lightweight title belt as well. So, yeah, I can't wait. It's I can't wait for this card. I'm like kind of losing words of how to describe how excited I am. So, yeah. Again, rate this card 1 out of 10, and we'll go from there. But yeah, I'll see you guys on Saturday, and I'll be throwing up live reels and videos as always that I've been doing, and I just can't wait to experience this with you guys. But other than that, that's it for the UFC 326 breakdown. Let's pop up the MMA pound for pound rankings as usual. Put it up right here. Other than that, man, that's it. And for the MMA pound for pound rankings, there's obviously not much change. There will be change after this weekend for Max and Charles, because here we go. We got Max at 10. If Charles wins, we're gonna see Charles bump up into that top 15. And if Max wins, I mean, who knows? Maybe he goes above Pantoja, and goes to number 9. Or maybe he goes to number 8 and jumps Pantoja and Merab. Don't really see much of that happening. I could see myself putting him above Alexander Pantoja if he gets a dub, because I mean Charles Oliveira was in the top 15 for a long time. He just fell out of it, but just because with a couple losses he's had out of his last 5 fights. But yeah, other than that, man, that's it. Not much change. So cut out the MKMA pound for pound right there. But guys, that's pretty much all I got for you. Another short one, but I promise you, I am working on getting some more guests back on. I just need to put more time into figuring out my friends' schedules to be able to get them back on here. So, but that's really it. That's all I got for you guys. I'll see you guys for UFC 326 this Saturday. I can't wait to experience it with y'all. Make sure to like and subscribe, comment, ring that damn bell. I hope you guys enjoyed episode 24 as well. But with that being said, guys, that's all I got for you. I hope you have a good week, and I'll see you guys on Saturday. Thanks, fellas.